ready to see this? Cleaned up my studio. Got some cool things for the wall that makes it sound better. Mixed media wall of inspiration is up, and more fun things. Today we are doing a deep dive on all things fine liners. What will make them smear? What will make them stay? We're gonna learn a lot about our supplies today and why ingredients matter. I have this whole lineup. Oh my lordy. So many things to test. Don't worry, I will make it fun and fast for you so you don't have to sit through all of it like I do. Thanks. Let's learn about fine liners and what they will and will not interact with. All right, so here is how this is gonna work. This is a watercolor paper. Oh geez. So I'm going to be making a mark with all of these on watercolor paper. This is Bristol paper. So I will also be making the same marks on Bristol paper. When the ink has been set down, I'm going to use watercolor markers on these, and I'm going to use alcohol markers on these and see what smears. Then we'll have a conversation about why. So make sure you stay to the end to watch, or you'll be watching all of this and have zero to take away. So the takeaways at the end and what we're learning are what this video is for. So please make sure you do not leave early. Tons of value here. Let's stay tuned and watch and see what happens.
Maggie, what do you think? Is it so clean in here? Have you ever seen it so clean? Are you a cookie, yeah? All right, I gotta go back to doing the video. We have all these pens. Look, we have all of those. We gotta test them. And then we have to do all of those too. You ready? Let's go.
And these are the pens I'm testing today. Molotow Black Liner, Sharpie Ultrafine Point, Paper Mate Flare, Uniball Vision Elite, Uli Fineliner, Copic Multiliner, Sharpie S-Gel, Faber-Castell Pitt Pen, Pentel Energel, Copic Multiliner, Superior Needle Drawing Pen, Staedtler Mars Graphic Duo, Stabilo Point Fineliner, Bic Crystal 1.6 millimeters, Tombow Calligraphy Pen, Micron Archival Ink Pen, Pentel Pocket Brush Pen, Pentel Sign Pen, Sharpie, Pentel Art Hybrid 0.5 millimeter, Arteza Inkonic Fineliner, Creative Mark, Super Black Copic Drawing Pen, and Kuretake Fudagash, I can't say that. And last but not least, I can't find my last one. Oh, this one, the Zebra Fountain Pen. All right, so on our watercolor paper, I'm going to be using watercolor markers, right? Because the situation would be that we do a drawing, we outline it, and then we're gonna color it in. So we need to know ahead of time, this is the big test, which of these are gonna smear. Water-soluble markers, everything smeared except the Creative Mark Super Black, which I will get right here, this one right here, the Bic Crystal, which is this one right here, that's just a ballpoint pen. Oh, this Uli Fineliner, which is this guy right here, and the Sharpie Ultrafine Point. So that's these one. That's only four. That's it out of all of these. And the reason, do you know the reason? All right, well, let's test the other ones and then we'll talk over why that is. All right, now I have my guesses on which ones are going to smear and which ones are not. Let's put it to the test. The big ones that do smudge are the Kartaki, the Bit Crystal, which was actually one of the ones that didn't interact on the other one, the Faber-Pastel Pit Pen, but it might have been just because it's so juicy, it might have still been wet. That's about it. So what is the story? What is going on with all of these being smeary McGee except a couple and almost none of these? What does that mean? Why is that? Okay, we've run our tests. Now let's unpack the results. If you can recall, for the water-based watercolor markers, there was only 4 out of all those pens that I tested in markers. There was only 4 that didn't smear. So let's check and see which ones those were again. Okay, so the only 4 that did not react were the Crystal Bic, Sharpie, this one by, this is by Uli, and then this Fineliner by Creative Mark. And so this brings up the point of ingredients. What are the ingredients in these pens that are not going to react with our water-based watercolor markers? And the answer is pens that are alcohol-based. And actually, this is something I didn't know before, that the Bics are filled with a ballpoint pen ink, and those are oil-based. Interesting, right? I did not know that. So oil-based products and alcohol-based products do not react with water-based markers, right? Oil and water don't mix, and water-based and alcohol also don't mix. So if you are going to outline your drawing before coloring it in with water-based markers or watercolor markers or anything that's water-reactive dye-based markers, okay, make sure you're using an alcohol-based fine liner. So Sharpie's perfect for you. I don't normally use a Bic ballpoint pen to do any outlining, but it's kind of cool if you have these around that you can. Didn't know that, so learn something new today. And I just want to take a moment to just make sure you really understand before we move on that the reason everything was smearing when we did the first test and almost every single marker that I was scribbling through the text smeared was that the ingredients in those fine liners were also water-based ingredients. And when you have water-based plus water-based, you get a big old smear. So let's go take a look and unpack the alcohol-based markers and what fine liners did or did not react with those. Okay, and just to review, these were all the ones that I tested, and the Sharpies did have a little bleed. So did the Pit Pens. So did the Bit Crystals. So if you notice, these are the ones that didn't react with the water base, and also this one is a little bit smudgy as well. So what do all these other pens have in common? Well, those are all the water-based pens and markers, right? And we just learned that alcohol and water don't mix. So you're always fine to use fine liners that are water-based or dye-based. You can outline your projects before you color them in with alcohol markers and you'll be good to go. So in that case, you want to stay away from alcohol-based and oil-based products, as we're just learning, when you're using alcohol markers to outline your drawings before coloring them in. So how can you be sure that you are going to or not going to have interaction with your projects? Test, my friends. Test, test, test before you go, so there's no surprises whatsoever. If you learned anything whatsoever today, please click the like button and let me know in the comment section below what your biggest takeaway was or if you have any additional questions. And also subscribe so you don't miss out on any future lessons. If you love drawing and outlining and coloring, check the playlist on your screen right now for awesome, fun projects that you can follow along with and learn with too. See you next time.